Good morning. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And often that's a kind of a put down, a way of saying that someone else likes something, but I don't think much of it. But the phrase goes much deeper than that. Beauty is something we have to learn to see. We invest attention in things until they become beautiful. My mathematician husband thinks maths is a beautiful thing because he's spent years exploring it, looking at it, working at it, and discovering the ways in which it is beautiful. But he can't see nature the way I do. He doesn't really notice it, doesn't really understand my passion for it, for the beauty of the trees, the bark, the mosses, the textures, the colours. Because nature is where I spend time noticing things. And the more I notice, the more beautiful it becomes. These are strange days, days when we are called to change our habits, except for those who were already isolated, perhaps because of depression or compromised immune system, or for other reasons of illness or family. Changing habits for the rest of us, it's a nuisance, it's an inconvenience, but it's also an opportunity. Do you remember the trend for mindfulness? That was all very well, but there's nothing like having to be mindful all the time. Mindful of washing our hands, cleaning door handles, avoiding infection. Mindful of how close you stand to someone in front of you in the queue. Talking of which, I was standing behind a woman at the supermarket checkout yesterday morning, and she showed me the line behind which I ought to stand so that I wouldn't infect her with COVID-19. I accepted the correction and chatted on with her, and then she said that she was really anxious. She told me about her family and the ways her family were communicating to show each other love. And it was lovely to be able to encourage her about the kind things that she was doing for others. I found myself promising her with confidence that most of us will be all right and will not get sick. And many of us will come through this pandemic wiser and maybe even more loving. I said, we are held in eternal love. And whether we live or die, that love holds us fast. Then I apologised and said, I'm sorry. I'm sure you didn't plan to be preached at by a minister at 9 o'clock in the morning while you were doing your shopping. She looked up from her trolley, amazed and delighted. And looking straight at me, she told me that her ex-husband had died this week and that she had been to see him and that he had told her and her son that he had trusted his life to Jesus. And it had been important to her son, even though he's not good living. And it mattered to her that it mattered to her son. These were all signs of encouragement and life that we're learning to see. It felt to me like a huge relief that I had just gossiped some good news into her life, and that had allowed her to let go of the worry and the sorrow, even for a moment. And she had gossiped some good news to me, and we both left that place encouraged and loved. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Learn today to notice the beautiful things that God is doing in you, through others around you, and be thankful for them. And tell others about them. Gossip some good news, because there's plenty of it still to be shared. Did you notice the flowers? Did you notice the trees? Did you notice the buds coming through? Spring is coming, and let's not be afraid. And above all, perhaps in this time of isolation, when we have plenty of time to be on the internet, maybe we could take some time to be quiet and to learn to see God in all God's beauty and to really enjoy Him. Have a good day.